Welcome into baseball tonight as we are presented by Chevrolet. 4 teams remain in the pursuit of a World Series title. As we welcome you inside our studios, John Brickley, glad to be alongside Eduardo Perez and Tim Kurkjian. We'll look ahead to the Yankees and the Astros with Game 1 of the ALCS coming up on Saturday. But the Nationals and the Cardinals, 2 teams we didn't expect to reach this part of the season, facing off in the NLCS. Game number 1, cold night at Busch Stadium, 44 degrees. Miles Mikolas on the mound, Eduardo, and he looked like vintage 2018.
He looked really good. He was elevating the fastball. He was throwing the curveball down, getting chases, and then he also was able to control the curveball in the zone and get the legend of Juan Soto.
He had more strikeouts in the first inning than he did the entire divisional series for St. Louis. In the second, Yan Gomes in place of the injured Kurt Suzuki. The number 8 hitter, Tim, comes through with the RBI.
He does, and he scores Howie Kendrick, who was now 9 for 12 lifetime against Mikolas.
And they pitched to Gomes. They did not walk him intentionally and go after Sanchez.
And you had Anibal Sanchez on the mound facing off with Marcell Ozuna in the second. Thought this one could potentially go out of the park. Temperature-wise, that was a factor in this game.
This was the only hard-hit ball on a different night that goes out, right?
Exactly. Anibal Sanchez, the hardest hit ball of the night, 105.8 miles per hour. Off the bat of Ozuna and did not go.
And we talk about the legend in Juan Soto, had the bases loaded, but Mikolas gets the ground ball out. Good play by the Cardinals starter.
It was all curveball after curveball after curveball. That was all he saw off Mikolas and could not barrel it.
And yet, Tim, this script started to emerge in the form of Sanchez, a no-hitter that we were seeing.
He was so good tonight. He was so efficient. He used that fastball, used the off-speed so well. That was precision pitching at its finest.
A no-hitter he took into the 6th inning, facing off with Paul DeJong, gets the strikeout, 1 of 5 in this game for the right-hander, and then after that, break this down for us, Eduardo.
Well, look at the elbow, left elbow. He's got the pad right there. You have 2 strikes, 1-2. And Cubanito, you know what? He probably didn't even record that one. Anibal's like, come on, man. He stuck his elbow in. Instead, now you have speed at first. Steals second. 1 out. 1-2 count on Fowler, goes 2-2, runner in scoring position.
Runners were 17 of 17 stealing against Sanchez this year. After a Fowler ground out, Colton Wong a chance to tie it up, flies out to end the inning, and a no-hitter through 6.
8 F8s tonight for the Cardinals, a bunch of easy, lazy fly balls.
And then Soto bunting in the 7th, Eduardo?
Runners at first and third. He's trying to drive that extra run in, doing whatever he can. Looks like he wasn't feeling good at the plate. Gets really low with 2 strikes and strikes all out. Again, Miller, advantage.
Big strikeout for Andrew Miller. Mike Schultz going to the bullpen. Howie Kendrick, he was the difference maker with the grand slam in Game 5 that eliminated the Dodgers, and he gets the insurance run here.
So he scored the first run, he drove in the second run, and the legend of Howie Kendrick continues to grow.
And in the bottom of the 7th, Sanchez working on a no-hitter facing off with Paul Goldschmidt, who got no hard-hit contact in this game.
This one was off the end of the bat. He was moving the ball in and out. He was guessing, and Anibal was doing the best he could.
He made minimal mistakes, one of them there putting Yadier Molina on. So the Cardinals with a runner on next batter. Matt Carpenter grounds out. Sanchez a no-hitter through 7.
Rick, we've had 2 no-hitters, 1 a perfect game in the history of the postseason, and this guy has flirted with it twice in his career.
And then the play of the game in the 8th. You always talk about that one play where you think a no-hitter could happen. Tommy Edman, look at Ryan Zimmerman, full extension for the out.
88 miles per hour off the bat. He's guarding the line. Full extension, makes the play, the veteran. You're thinking, no, not on my watch.
A hit probability of 55%. Jose Martinez comes in a pinch hit situation, and there goes the no-no.
So 7 2/3 no-hit innings. That's the second longest no-hit bid to not be completed in the postseason. That's how amazing that was.
Sanchez pointing over to Martinez. A standing ovation from the fans in St. Louis.
That's a class act.
There, right?
That's a class act right there.
In the 9th, Sean Doolittle in to close it. Daniel Hudson on paternity leave for this game, facing Ozuna, strikes him out. Nationals get the win, 2-0. Story of the game, Anibal Sanchez with our Pedro Gomez.
Hello. a lot, especially because I put the first win for the team in this series. You know, we're playing against St. Louis. It's no easy team to face. It's no easy team like to give any kind of opportunity. And right now we got the win. We got the first win. That's the more important thing right now.
That guy's a tremendous veteran. This guy has meant so much to this team. And when you kind of lose the power slide or the power fastballs, it's power in there and power up here, man. That kind of stuff you can't teach. He put us on his back today, and what a tremendous outing today from him. It's unbelievable. It's really good to see that from him.
I've said it all year. You know, when he came back off the IL, everybody talks about, you know, Strauss, Scherzer, Corbin. I mean, Annabelle's been, you know, he's a big part of why we're here, too. I mean, he's pitched unbelievable since coming off the IL. So he's a big part of our success. And, man, he goes out there and he gives us a chance to win every time he's out there.
There's belief that this Nationals team is a team of destiny. Anibal Sanchez, 7 2/3, no-hit baseball, tied for the longest such streak in postseason history. There has never been a no-hitter in LCS history. Anibal Sanchez, brilliant once again, and he was seen as the de facto Game 1 starter because you couldn't use Max Scherzer, Steven Strasburg, or Patrick Corbin, and he delivers in the biggest way possible.
And he knows who he is. Listen, this is a guy that's been able to evolve from a strikeout pitcher to now a pitcher that understands to miss barrels. And he only had one barrel shot the entire night off. Ozuna had it off him. The rest, soft contact, and he did a fantastic job of being able to do that, keeping the guys off balance and letting his infielders and outfielders work. A lot of fly balls. Tim, you said it. 8 fly balls to the center fielder. A lot of action going on with Taylor.
So Anibal Sanchez has made 2 Game 1 starts in his postseason history. One was a 6-inning, no hits, and then they took him out. And tonight, 7 2/3 innings, 1 hit. So he's the only pitcher in Major League history to have 2 starts in the postseason and take a no-hitter through 6 innings in each of them. Just an amazing performance. And as you said, Brick, this is the perfect win for the Nationals now, because now they have their 3 best pitchers in order on full rest going in 2, 3, and 4.
All right, let's take a look at StatCast AI, powered by AWS. Second best limiting hard hit contact this season has been Sanchez in Game 1. That only 1 hit allowed was that fly out to Marcell Ozuna in the 2nd inning. He was dominant when he needed to be for this ball club. As for the Cardinals, a tough way to go down in the series opener. Let's hear from their Cardinals manager in Mike Schill.
We were talking about the big 3, and I said, hey, you know, we're going to respect them. We're familiar with them, but we got a guy tonight that we got to contend with. And not to overlook him, and we didn't. He was just really good, made a lot of quality pitches, and, you know, didn't give us a lot.
I mean, you know, he's certainly a guy who is a command guy. You know, his stuff isn't, you know, maybe what it was earlier in his career, and but he's still good. You know, he's still got, you know, 4 quality pitches he can throw for strikes on both sides of the plate, and tonight was a great example of that. I mean, he did a great job. You know, 0-2, 1-2 on every hitter, and you got to tip your hat. I mean, he threw the ball well.
Outside of this game, 2 other instances where we saw 1-hit games in baseball postseason history. All previous 6 went on to win the World Series. So for a Cardinals team that had a 10-run first against the Braves, they went 0 for 27, the starters did. Their only pinch hit was that from Jose Martinez. And now, Tim, the stars align for this Nationals team because you've got a rested Max Scherzer, Steven Strasburg, and Patrick Corbin.
This is the perfect formula now for the Nationals. The other thing that went so well is they didn't need their bullpen, and the one guy they used, Sean Doolittle, retired all 4 batters he faced, and Daniel Hudson, their closer, will be back for Game 2.
Doolittle was nasty. He was effective, and that's a great sign for David Martinez. They're not trusting his pen, and Anibal Sanchez doing what he did. 2 pitchers compared to the 7 that were used by the Cardinals. Advantage, big-time Nationals.
And, Tim, you referenced that outing back in 2013. Anibal Sanchez started Game 1. Who started Game 2 for the Tigers? Max Scherzer. It's interesting how baseball comes full circle. Still to come, Astros and the Yankees, second time in 3 years. These 2 powerhouses are meeting. We'll set the stage for Game 1 coming up.
Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Hola, soy Gary Sanchez.
I'm Edie Gores.
I'm Aaron Judge.
All right, here comes the judge.
He's done it again. See ya.
I'm Jay Happ.
I'm Gleyber Torres.
Torres drives that ball center field, hit deep. Goodbye home run.
Get him out
You are watching
Baseball Tonight.
Baseball Tonight.
And you're watching Baseball Tonight.